I got the 2022 KTM 65 SX top end change. Let's see what we got. 32 hours on it. 31 and a half. So pretty clean. Not too, the bike ran flawlessly until I started messing with the I put a new needle in it because we were falling out plugs every ride 2-3 times. I knew that wasn't that wasn't right. Then I got a extended air screw, which still wasn't able to reach very well. You can see that air screw all the way back in there. The dumbest design I've ever seen, because you got to mess with it all the time. And with everything on here, it's almost impossible to get to that, even with the extension. And then the extension goes ahead and strips out. Nihilo makes a pretty good extension, and this tool, but it's a rounded head, so stripped out within the first 2 or 3 times because it was the screw's brass, so steel head, brass screw. Go figure. And this is the extended knurled screw. I mean, it's a great idea in concept, but in practice, not so much. So I went ahead and bought a Lectron Carb. It should be here in the next week or so, and I thought I might as well just go ahead and throw a top end in her while we wait. That way, hopefully, all the jetting issues will be gone. We'll see. This will be wet. And you need a new crush washer. Kind of opens that nicely. A lot more room. Let me pull that cylinder off. Go ahead and take off the power valve cover. A bladder for the power valve. Got an 8mm for the top. Pull this up, and then you can slide a 6mm behind it, because if you just go ahead and try to turn it without that 6, you're just going to keep spinning, and you'll probably end up breaking your power valve. There. And then you have a 4mm and a 5mm. Couldn't have made it easy, but yes, they're both different. Push washer. Just make sure that stays. You have an O-ring here and an O-ring there. Make sure not to lose those, and you want to clean the garbage out of this thing, because it's pretty nasty. You got an O-ring underneath. Take that out before cleaning it also.
Watch out for your locator pins. There's one still in the head or into the jug, and I got one in the head still. Power valve, extra spoogie. Take your piston down to bottom dead center. It's a lot easier getting that jug off. Cylinder looks good. Make sure you mind where that is. Either a dead blow or a rubber mallet. There we go. Let's see what's going on. I undid one of these head exhaust manifold bolts, just enough to stop me. There we go. Yeah, oh yeah, she's rich. Alright, now we gotta get circlip. This is a hone brush. When I honed out KX65, I used this to clean it afterwards. So, and you can never go wrong with these little brushes as long as you don't use that and freaking score stuff. Should be good. Use a little bit of gum out, get us this garbage off of the sides of this. Okay, so after a long time of cleaning, I'm not really getting it, and got the best I could. I'm gonna dry it off and then assembly lube it all up so it doesn't start rusting, because this thing will rust within 20 minutes. So I took apart every part, cleaned the bejesus out of it, and lubed it up with a nice thin film of assembly lube. And now we're going to do the same with this here jug. And you got to make sure you have every nook and cranny, because there will be hidden stuff in there. You can see water coming out of everywhere every time I turn it upside down. But every one of these ports, you're going to have something in there. So at the end, put it in after you've cleaned it with carbon choke cleaner, brake cleaner, whatever the heck you need to get the carbon buildup off of there. put it in a bucket with soapy water and use a nice soft brush. Make sure not to hit this Nicosil coating. Just brush the heck out of everything, trying to get every nook and cranny of this thing, because I've rebuilt bikes and had, you know, a little piece of something in there and boom, that'll give you a bad day. You have a pretty mad kid at the track. I just put a little bit of assembly lube in there and give her a nice thin coat. There we go. Power valve. Make sure she slides in and out of there nicely. And she does. So we're going to get the piston and everything ready. Oh, wrist pin, circlip. Oh man, did I just do that? Yes, I did. But I found it. Wow, didn't think I was gonna find that. All right, so with everything, a little bit of lube never hurt nobody, and you're gonna look for the letter, the R. I don't know. Yep, you can see that R right there. That's facing up on the piston. I've made that mistake before. Alright. Rings on there. So now you're always better off putting one circlip in before getting it on the bike. I actually made a tool that, I mean, I was in there for probably 2+ hours trying to get that freaking circlip in there. When it's on the bike, when it's off the bike, it's not so hard, but when it's on the bike and you're trying to get that in there and you only got so much space and you're trying to not scratch stuff, and yeah, that arrow goes towards the exhaust. So that's going to go towards the front of the bike. So I'm going to install this side circlip first so that I can put the wrist pin in there, and on the left side of the bike put the other circlip in. So see, I got it in there. Went in there about perfect. It's a little cocked, but that's nothing. You can't help with the screwdriver. And come the other way. All right, make sure you have your arrow pointing towards the exhaust. Maybe get yourself a little bit of more lube on the bearing. Lube her up nicely. Put her right in there. Over top, push the wrist pin through the wrist pin bearing. Make okay for this side. I got the ring in there. You can see it. It's in the end. You push this real hard up against something hard with the ring in the back side and push it all the way to the end, and it seats itself right there at the end of that. And then all you do, insert this bad boy into the, make sure that your gap, which is right there. Right there. We don't want that there, so I'm gonna put it right here. Push this in, and then boom. The easiest circlip insertion ever. And it's off a little bit, but you just use a screwdriver to push it in. And she's in. The cylinder to go back on. Alright, exhaust flange bolts, they want a little bit of Loctite. They want 243. We're gonna use 268. It's all good. And 7.4, 7.5 Newton meters. Or foot pounds. My fault. Damn, 8mm was on the impact. So brilliant. Alright. Next thing's next. We'll throw the cylinder on the bike. Make sure nothing drops down in there, and inspect for anything that might have that you can see. Go ahead and slide your gasket down. Coming down just a little bit helps. There we go. Coming down on it. Alright, got your cylinder base gasket on there. Put your cylinder base bolts on there, 14.8 foot-pounds is the torque spec for these. And you always want to do these in a crisscross pattern. I'm not gonna torque them yet until I got them tightened down a little. Alright. Next would be power valve. Lube her up nice and is unobstructed, because that causes a lot of freaking problems. And I think that's why I was all goopy, because I think she was getting hung up. Feels nice. Feels good. Alright. Cylinder head gasket. And actually, I'm going to check the deck height real quick. And the Hilo makes this pretty slick tool. You got your deck height right here and your timing right there. So this, you just don't want that girl to come up and push on this, and it does not. It's perfect. You want, I think at the max, 0.1 millimeter clearance, and I don't have my feeler gauges, but this is a brand new bike, so I believe that's good. But I do want to check the timing. Take the timing guard off. Probably clean that beast up a little. Use your timing tool, and then as soon as that hits, go right across here, right in the middle, and you go to the clockwise a little bit, and then counterclockwise right until it greets the tool, about right there. And then you look at your mark there, that mark, and then there should be a hash mark right there. And where is my... It looks, no, you probably can't see it. Let's see. There we go. Looks dead on to me. That might be off just a little. Yep, just a little. Let's try that again. That's off just, I guess, a cunt hair. So the way to, you loosen up these 3 bolts and then turn the timing plate to meet that. And then when you tighten those back up, it's 3.7 foot-pounds for the torque spec. So... So we are just going backwards ever so. No, we're going forwards ever so lightly. There we go, and that she is lined up perfectly. I don't know if you can see that. Now that hash mark is dead nuts. And now 3.7 foot-pounds. That could have been a little bit of our timing issue. Go around power valve. Nice. Make sure you got good movement with the valve. Put your spring back. Couple of back of your power valve cup. Remember you had a O-ring on there. New crush washers on the head bolts. 10 mil. 13.3 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. Got your power valve cup. It's going to sit right there. Remember you had your 5mm on the bottom, 4mm on the top, both with new crush washers. Then you want, I believe, 3 foot-pounds for these, both of them, which is damn near nothing. It's also going to be 3 foot-pounds, but remember to always get up underneath there with a 6mm, because if not, you're going to break your power valve. Real easy. There we go. This is also 3 foot-pounds, but get her close with the nylock nut. Okay, so running around looking for my 8mm socket, I realized that I did not put that back on that stud. And that needs to be there, so I'm going to have to take that back off. Put the top of the power valve cup back on. All of these things are 3 foot-pounds. Alright, you got your coil attached here. Go ahead and get the back. Set. Alright, pull this over here. Oh, did I go the wrong way on that? Alright. That's good. Alright, and then we go ahead and cram this right here in the cram hole. Clutch line up through the back of the radiator. Hopefully that's the right spot. Have been fooled before. Got the other side radiator back in place. Alright, your stator cover is 5.9. Well, I guess that's it until Tuesday when the Lectron carb comes in, and then we'll put her all the way back together. Out with the old.
Very nice.